everybody, it's Tanya. The first thing I would like to address is this junky microphone, which yes, I will be holding throughout the entire video. I'm trying to see whether it sounds better than the camera's microphones, so let's hope it does. So today I would like to talk about something that I don't hear many people talk about, and that is the unsung brilliance of Marabou Stork Nightmares by Irvine Welsh. Yes, I do own the ugly cover. It's a used copy. I mostly buy used books. I can't pick and choose which cover I get, so I have this piece of trash. But the book is brilliant, so we're not going to hold it against that. Now, many of you probably know Irvine Welsh since he wrote Trainspotting, which is an extremely popular novel. It also has a fantastic film adaptation, which I recommend you go watch and read. A very grueling, dark story about addiction within working class Scottish people. So, many people expect that style when they approach Irvine Welsh. He has established himself as a very sort of dark, disturbing, nasty type of author, and that's what people come to expect. And Marabou Stork Nightmares is no different, but it's something really special. Even though it has his unique style, it's like nothing you've ever read. One of the first things you should know about picking up an Irvine Welsh novel is he does write with a Scottish accent, and it takes a few pages to really get into it. I mean, you do have to imagine how it sounds in order to understand what he's saying, but it's not that much of an issue, so I don't really mind it. Maybe some people would, but I think it's a very artistic choice because Scotland plays such a huge role in his novels. That's one of the things I love about his books. Let's talk about what makes Marabou Stork Nightmares different than any of his other books. So first, it is an experimental novel, which means it is stylized in a very weird and unconventional way. As you can see, there's different font sizes here, there's letters and sentences going up and down, different shapes. There's even, let me find it, there's even an entire page that is shaped like a giant Z, which is obviously important to the story, and you will get it if you do read it. And it's the only experimental novel I've ever read in terms of stylistic experimentation and the way it's formatted. It's a completely different experience than anything you've ever read. It is wholly immersive. It is so immersive, and part of that is he guides you through this person's thoughts using different types of formatting, which makes a huge difference when it comes to that sort of story. So I've rambled on for a few minutes and I haven't actually mentioned what this book is about, so let's talk about that. Marabou Stork Nightmares is about a man named Roy, and we very quickly realize that he is in a coma in the hospital. So there are two storylines. There's Roy in the hospital, you know, he's sometimes cognizant, he's in a coma, but he does sometimes hear the nurses and his family, so we get that side of the story. But there is also the story within his brains. So he has this sort of daytime hallucination or coma hallucination of being in South Africa with a man named Sandy Jameson, I believe, I don't remember. They go on this huge venture to try and capture the Marabou stork, which is a bird of prey, and it's dangerous to other species in the area, so their mission is to capture it, specifically one nasty creature. And we have both plot lines, and they sometimes intersect, sometimes even in the middle of a sentence. You'd get Roy and Sandy sitting in this truck going through the desert or something, and then suddenly, mid-sentence, it would cut off and change into something that Roy hears from outside from his hospital room. Actually, when I think about it, you might even say that there are three storylines. So we have Roy in the hospital, we have Roy in South Africa with Sandy, and we also have Roy's memories, which he does talk about extensively, especially towards the second half of the book. One of the most important things here is that Roy is an unreliable narrator. It is truly fascinating because you don't really realize that he's an unreliable narrator until the very end. I'm not going to say anything that's going to spoil it, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is the only book that literally made my jaw drop at the end. It has the best twist ending that I've ever read. That twist ending combined with the stylized formatting and the three different storylines which all come together at the end gives it the most shocking conclusion that I have ever experienced. And it's a shame to me that not many people talk about it when people mention super disturbing books and the ultimate surprise endings. They never mention Marabou Stork Nightmares, and I think that it might be because it's overshadowed by Welsh's other more popular works like Trainspotting and Ecstasy and Porno. But I truly think this novel stands above the rest when it comes to Irvine Welsh's work. It might even be my favorite novel of all time. Thematically, it concerns very, very dark topics, so if you're wary of sexual assault and rape, if you're wary of extreme animal abuse, violence, extreme gore, suicidality, or anything of that sort, maybe skip this one, but I truly think it's worth it. I think everyone should have the unique experience of reading this book, and it's such a shame to me that not many people do. I think I've heard Jack Edwards mention it once, but I can't think of any other YouTuber who's talked about it. It really is a shame to me. So if you're looking for a really dark, shocking, and disturbing read, you can't go wrong with Marabou Stork Nightmares. It is fantastic. It's interesting. It's immersive. It is really, really deep when it comes to its themes. And like all of Irvine Welsh's characters, the characters here have such a unique character voice. It is told entirely from Roy's point of view, but we get a lot of character voice from the other characters as well when they speak. And between the writing with an accent, the stylized formatting, and the three storylines, you get such an immersive experience that I don't think you can get with any other book. So those are just my thoughts on one of my favorite books, which I urge you all to pick up today. Tell me in the comments which books you find the most shocking or the most disturbing, because I would sure as hell like to check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!